People are looking for us. 8. You are live. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening.
Oh, wow. Okay. So listen, you guys, we just came on live, and Ambrosia Harvey, thank you so much for joining us. Listen, right now we are sharing and liking the live, so make sure you are sharing right now. Oh. And yeah, once again, we're going through this where I can't
share to
quite get to the share button.
Oh, but unless you do it last time, right?
Somehow, somewhere over the rainbow, I was able to do it. I don't. I think I just.
We got it to where you can just go down with the groups
this big
instead of going back and forth.
Showing up on my Facebook page. Yeah, my girl live right now. So listen, thank you, LaPortia Jackson Kimball. Thank you so much for joining the Women of Power Radio Show. For those of you that have shared, can y'all talk to our people that are coming on?
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Use this moment to share. I hope y'all are ready, because in case you didn't see the topics, as usual, they are hot. And y'all know last week we were so hot that we didn't even get to question number 2, but that's all right, because tonight we're going to try to cover both of them. We're going to do our best, because, Savage Squad, y'all be on it. Y'all be redirecting us with questions that we're not even prepared for. Next thing you know, we're in a whole nother neighborhood.
A whole nother neighborhood. So right now, I'm just working on trying to find.
You found it?
No, I found yours, which I don't want.
But you just got a shirt from there?
I don't want to.
I'm gonna get rid of this gun. Hey, Kia, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad to see you've been checking in, girl, giving some good perspective every week. This is like your third or fourth week. You on your way to top fan, girl.
Come on here. Work your way on up like the Jeffersons.
Joel Brittany, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you.
It's going down.
It's about to go down. I got 6 model chicks.
Oh Lord. Do you?
I don't.
Yes, she does.
But I will have.
I was just about to say that.
And the boutiques that are coming. Okay, come on. I got 6 model chicks for my collection. Yes, indeed.
Hey, Jewel Brittany, thank you so much for coming on. Kia Lewis.
I didn't realize on all the pictures I posted of my items this week, I put the ZenobiaHarveyCollection.com as the website. I'm thinking I know my website, but it's actually Zenobia Harvey Collection. So people was like, we can't get to that link. I was like, that's why.
That's not even Well, when you put the right link, it'll actually bring up your website, unless you got pictures and you didn't want. So listen, I'm sorry, you guys. We want to welcome you so much to the Women of Power Radio Show. Listen, it's another Tuesday night live right here on Women of Power, and we have some hot topics. But listen, right now, take this advantage to like and share the video. Go and share it in your different relationship groups and your Christian groups, because we are a Christian-based radio show, and we're getting ready to kick this thing off right. I'm going to actually go and share in my Dating Over 40 group, because
we need some wisdom in the room. I'm going to actually share our YouTube page for those that have family and friends. Someone just reached out to me right before we went on, and they asked about how they could watch. They don't have Facebook, but we are live on YouTube on a Power Radio Show. So I'm also going to share that as well. Bam!
Yeah, so make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube, and that's Women of Power Radio Show. You're just going to click the like button or just subscribe, and then you'll get notifications, because we also go live on YouTube. So listen, we're not going to belabor. We're not going to. And Zenobia is like, she loves that word.
Belabor.
She loves that word
every week. So we had a meeting on Sunday. I was like, what does that even mean?
Like, I cannot. So we're not going to delay.
See how she said, nah. Y'all have to switch everything up to make it more.
Because when y'all tell you, when you extra, you just do extra stuff.
At least you know she extra, y'all.
Sometimes I be extra, but it'd be on a whole nother level extra, not just like extra like ghetto or extra like ratchet, but just extra like just, I don't know. I want to live in Paris. I think I need to. I want to go to Paris.
That's why you be making everything
spend some time there. So everything I do is like French.
Zoe.
Right. So I switched everything up, like Donna Corbett. Is she joining us tonight? We don't know.
Can we get this thing off my head?
So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into
Can we get that off my head?
Oh, you don't want everybody to like and share?
Yeah, but not on my head.
All right, y'all.
You'll be like, punching the
There's nowhere else I can put it.
On the
So just make sure y'all like and share. And that'll come up in a minute.
Oh, you can put it on then. You can put it on.
Now, never mind. Come on.
All right, so I hope that you all took the time to like and share the video because, again, we need all the perspectives in the room, right? So the first topic, I guess y'all want to touch on where we left off last week. We're going to start off with healing, or y'all want to go 24 hours, no communication?
Ooh, what y'all thinking? I'm thinking let's start with the 24 hours.
Let's start with the 24 hours because it's a little ratchet with that, and then
Yeah.
we'll go to the healing.
Why
What's
we
a
gotta
little,
be ratchet?
what's a little more
You
emotional.
know, we need to discuss whether she for the streets or not. So let's get right into it. Okay, so we have a young man who wrote in, and he said, you know what, look, my girlfriend goes 24 hours at a time without communication. Like, I don't hear from her, and she knows that I can't stand it. So that lets me know that he's already voiced to her he doesn't like that. But she says it doesn't matter as long as we make plans every week to see each other. So regardless of whether you hear from me 1 day, 2 days, I see you on Saturday, right? We good? Boom. That's how she thinks. So what he's asking is he asking too much to be in a relationship where they communicate every day? Or is it cool if you're in a relationship with someone and y'all don't talk every day? And to be honest, I would not go for that. But I have met a lot of people, surprisingly, who are in relationships who say they don't talk to their significant other every day, which I think is just weird.
Okay, so
That's me. That's my
look.
business.
Jewel Brittany says yes, 24 hours. 24 hours what?
No, she's talking about let's hit that one first.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, yes. Okay. So I guess the question is, she doesn't communicate. What?
She does. She goes 24 hours with no communication.
What's wrong with
So
that?
But y'all in a relationship, so they don't talk. So you could be in a relationship where y'all don't talk every day.
Some people be real busy.
When we say no communication, we're talking no text messages, no phone. You ain't that busy. Like, nobody's that busy.
Okay,
everybody gets on social media every day. Everyone sends a text message every day. So if you're in a relationship, how much of your time does it really take to send a text message? Because you don't go 24 hours without texting. Let's be real.
Wait. Is it that he texted her and she responded 24 hours later? Or is it the fact that she's just not initiating anything within that 24 hours?
Because I'm sure he's not just sitting back saying she did not communicate in 24 hours and he didn't try.
No,
So-
he tries, but she probably ignores him for 24 hours.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
For
So
her, it's like, okay, but like, it's not that big of a deal. He might sit back and say, okay, well, I do all the calling. So today, let me see if she reaches out to me, if she calls me, and she can go without hitting him up until he hits her up. But to her, it's like, it's not that big of a deal. I don't need to talk to you every day.
Well, before we move forward, I just want to say thank you to Jennifer Rogers Olney. Oh,
You said Olney.
Olney. She said that she likes our shirts and our hair.
Oh, thank you,
And
Jennifer.
I think she's new. I hadn't seen you before, Jennifer. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you for joining, Jennifer.
You're already our favorite.
I'm going to do what I do to everybody else's name. I'm going to actually make her name Fred. So it's actually Jennifer Rogers Olney.
Jennifer Rogers Olney.
Olney. I like that. All right, thank you, Jennifer, so much. Yeah, so Jewel Brittany says, nope, he said that didn't work for him. It's something she can work on. So just because he said it's a problem, that makes it a problem, which for me, I believe if you're in a relationship with somebody and they say, hey, when you do this, it makes me feel like this. If I love them, I'm going to try not to do that. So the fact that he's saying, I've shared that with her and she's still going 24 hours, but then we got to get into her mindset. What's up, Thelma Akataka? We got to get in her mindset, Thelma. What is she thinking? I mean, what is her perspective on communication? Because not everybody feels the need to talk to their significant other, unless it's like a husband or a wife. So I'm going to tell y'all, my answer to this question is going to probably be completely different than the whole world. Why? Because I'm in a new headspace, y'all. I got a revelation several shows ago. So really, there is no relationship unless there's a ring. So if we have a ring, then
don't go there. Don't do that.
I'm serious. We got the revelation, and I'm not losing it. I'm holding on. So I'm gonna keep my peace. I'm gonna keep my joy. So therefore, if there's no relationship to the ring, then really we're not in a relationship.
Don't do that.
If I don't,
but if you all have established a commitment,
you going back to this whole ring thing when his simple question is like he's trying to build to give the ring,
and
so you single. I'm just saying. Okay, but go ahead now.
No, I feel like so my little spiel is again. We are talking when we say no communication. We are not talking about just talking on the phone. We're not limiting it to FaceTime. This includes text messages, right? So I feel like if you are in a relationship with somebody, it takes 2 seconds. What she say?
You gotta see what Kia said.
Hold on, let me go.
Kia Lewis, thank you for your comment. She's gone. She's gonna find you here.
No, I don't see it. All mine says is loving the Black.
She says they don't sound like they were on the same page before this relationship began.
Thank you.
Why would you start a relationship when this was already an issue? Not my preference.
Right.
But it might not started that
It may
way.
have not started.
But
like that,
if he's saying it's been an issue, then it was probably an issue before they entered into it. You don't just get in a relationship and all of a sudden start acting funny and not
no,
calling
some
nobody
people do because
Yeah,
they
I
don't
was
want to
gonna
be
say
in a
some-
relationship no more.
Yeah, and some people just like we
Oh,
talked about, they
that's a
switch up.
whole
So it's like they'll be that person until they lock you in. It's like, oh, now you mine.
Look at what
Bet, I don't have to do
Kira.
anything else.
We didn't get some feedback on here, but okay. So here's well, I can't relate it in a way that some relationships are built like that to where they're so busy that they barely do that, because apparently this is not the situation. The situation is that he's saying, look, I've reached out. She waits 24 hours, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. I can't say go talk to her because he's already had the conversation with her. So I say just give her a taste of her medicine.
Wow.
Mm.
Which is what?
Don't
go to
contact her.
Well,
And
yeah.
that's not being funny or being petty, but if you're not gonna value the time that I have, the time that I invest in you by reaching out to you and texting you or whatever, checking on you, if you're not gonna do that, I'm gonna pull back from me extending that to you.
Right.
Because
Okay, yeah, that's really gonna help the relationships and all.
it's gonna help her either realize that she needs to fix something or she gonna walk away.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not gonna force somebody to text
So
me.
we were talking about it, Jennifer New. So she said, yes, she is new, and she's all the way from North
Michigan.
North Michigan in the house.
Come on,
In
Michigan,
Michigan by like the lakes, the
Mhm.
Lake Erie and stuff like
like
that.
Lake Michigan,
It's by Canada.
but she's in North Michigan, so she's like above the lakes,
She's
right?
close to
Yeah,
the
'cause
Canada.
the lakes would be. to
Yeah,
the
she's
side.
like up there. Yeah. So Brittany, she says check in every 5 to 7 hours. I'm sorry. Okay, so she's saying that in a relationship you should check in every 5 to 7 hours.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. When you're in a relationship, it's just natural for you to speak every day.
Exactly. That's why it's so weird that you can go 24 hours without it saying anything. That to me is not. There's something wrong with that. For the simple fact that, again, we're not saying you got to sit on the phone and talk to the person for 2 hours. We're not saying that you have to sit there on a whole video call. But knowing that every day when you wake up, you're going to be in your phone. You're sending text messages to people, period. Because
You're
by
on
nature,
Facebook. I see
exactly.
you.
You're on Facebook. You're
Yes.
posting.
The
So
blue
if you
light is
can
on.
fix your little raggedy fingers, okay, to get on all these different apps and send these little messages and whatever, guess whose fingers
The
better
least
be?
you can do.
The least you could do is send something to me. That's all I'm saying. And if you can't do that, then there is definitely a problem.
Make sure you guys share.
But does that mean she's not thinking about him?
That's how I would take
Okay.
it.
Thelma had a comment.
Thelma says 24 hours of no communication is a no-no. I know exactly what I'm doing when I get ghosts. Exactly. Because like you said, when you're in a relationship, naturally, because you like the person, you think about them. So when they cross your mind, you reach out to y'all communicate. It's
Yeah.
like second nature. So for me to be into you, but then I'm like not saying anything, like
I
that's
ain't
just
gonna lie.
weird.
I was in my recent years. I had this mindset of, hey, maybe a person doesn't reach out to me because they really are busy or because they're really taking care of stuff. But then as I grew, I'm human. I have emotions. I have feelings. I know that if I like you a lot or if I love you,
don't want to.
you don't hear
You
from
make
me
time.
every day, because the
Yes.
thing is, I don't have to take a break in my schedule to text you and be like, hey, babe, I love you.
How was your day?
I can
It
still
takes
be
2
I
seconds.
can multitask.
Right. It
Listen.
takes 2 seconds. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Listen, while y'all ruminating on that, I want to say, what's up, Jocelyn Brown? Thank you for joining us on tonight. Tiffany Mayfield, how you doing? Giuseppe Calderon, we're so glad you're watching with us on tonight. Zenobia Robinson and Chris Love.
Thank you for
Welcome.
all of the
Chris
beauty.
Love said,
Appreciate
hey, ladies.
Hey,
So, Chris, we
you're
are,
a man.
yeah.
Testosterone. We need some
Listen,
perspective.
it may not be a man because there's females named Chris. So
Oh,
I
really?
think Chris Love is a female. But anyway, I think so. You
Well, there
don't
are
think so?
Chris's named females named Chris.
Yeah, but that one
I can't
ain't
tell by the
female.
picture, so we don't know Chris. But either way, we need your perspective.
JJ is back.
Oh, my.
Hey, JJ.
Got
What's
the
up,
queen
JJ?
on her. That's
Top fan.
definitely top fan.
Top fan, JJ Jones. So the question we are addressing right now is actually scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And so Kia Lewis actually had a response to what I said earlier when I was talking about getting the ring.
Yeah.
You know, she said, how do you get to a ring and they don't have daily access? Or
That
I don't
part.
have daily access to you. And that's true. But what I'm saying is that maybe the expectation of daily, I don't know.
It's communication.
But I think it
like
has
it's
to
so
happen.
simple.
Like naturally, I don't think it should be like, look, you need to call me every day. I need to hear from you every day. if that person wants to talk to you every day, they will communicate with you. I shouldn't have to tell you.
Dang, you were right.
What?
She a female.
Oh, of course I was right. 'Cause I be
Okay.
knowing stuff.
Oh, we have Cat Lady on here. He got a great comment.
I'm talking about Baron.
Hold on, wait for Baron, because Tiffany Mayfield said, "Don't ignore the red flags." This is a red flag.
Do you think it could be a thing of even if he told her, "Hey, look, I'm trying to communicate with you every day," and she don't really? Do you think it's just something that she's not naturally used to doing?
What, communicating?
I mean, like daily, like it was like, oh, okay. I don't know, man,
That's
because
what-
when
if
you
don't
really
forget,
care about
how
somebody,
you forget you got a man?
That's
Or
what
a
I'm
man
saying.
got a
You
woman?
wouldn't forget to hit them up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
it's almost like what you look forward to when you wake up and you're like,
that part.
Yeah,
Yes, like,
I don't know, bro. Maybe she in the gym with another
Like,
man.
my butterflies haven't stirred today. What's going on? I haven't talked to Baby.
Listen,
Oh,
Yeah, they're a little subtle.
I agree
They're
with
not
Tiffany.
flying.
I agree with Tiffany.
That's
That's a
crazy.
big red flag. That's a huge red
We
flag.
actually got a lot of feedback.
So he's got a good concern.
a very good
Absolutely.
concern. So
It's
we're
valid.
gonna go to Ambrosia
All right,
Harvey.
Ambrosia. what you
She
talking about,
said,
girl?
when you are in a relationship with someone, why would you want to go 24 hours without talking to your significant other? I know that if you're not talking to me, you're talking to someone else.
She probably got locked up for a traffic ticket, got pulled over, and had no
Well,
insurance or nothing.
you know, this is a recurring event.
I'm just
I
trying to
can
help.
understand you getting locked up.
I'm trying to help the
Again,
sister out.
listen, how you helping her out if it's a recurring event?
I don't know. I'm trying to tell y'all, like this is just bringing back
You
memories
do that
of
when
me
you're
being
not
that person who said,
interested,
"Oh
though.
my
But I bet
God,
you
you're
were not-
busy,
you
you're
weren't
busy."
interested.
Yeah, you do that.
That's what I'm trying to say. Because let's just be real, y'all. We've all done this before, right? To someone, but why did you do it? Because you weren't that into that
I didn't
person.
care
That's
that
the
much.
only reason why. There's no one that I can think of that I've actually been really into who I'd wait 24 hours to respond just off the strength of I'm just
Oh,
waiting 24.
my.
Nobody does that. Not when you're interested. People do.
What
do
you
that.
talking about, Baron?
Yes.
What he right? What? Come on, bro. Jordan said make them pork chops for his birthday. Anyways, Baron says, let me not hear from my spouse longer than 6 to 7 hours. Me, what is the procedure when you got what is the procedure when you got a gun to your head?
Yeah, that part.
You said we weren't gonna hurt anybody. If y'all don't know, that's from Set It Off.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my. So 6 to 7 hours.
I need that money. Look, there's so many scenes in there.
I know. And only one of them got away.
It's my
Right. So
Okay.
yeah, that part.
So all right, Baron. So Baron's got some boundaries.
He ain't got no boundaries. He's just crazy.
It's about that life. Okay. We're gonna go to Tiffany Mayfield.
All right.
She said communication is key.
Right.
It only takes 2 seconds to shoot a text. Let me know that you are busy and will contact me later.
And then don't make an excuse. You people out there that got like 10 million text messages that you have to go through and read. If I'm the person that I have that type of business where like 10,000 people are going to text me every day, I will purposely go find your name or text you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not be like, I had to go through my text. That means you didn't think enough of me to look for me first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Oh, I
ma'am.
No
just
such
see.
thing as too busy when you're into me.
And then the crazy part is when you have an iPhone and it shows that you read the message, but you
Oops.
never responded. Y'all better
Red
fix
receipt
that.
be telling on
Busted.
y'all. Red
Busted.
receipt be
Y'all
telling
better
on
change
y'all.
that
Busted.
because we can see when you read them messages.
Right.
Somebody told me that one time. They was like, I saw that you read. Are you going to respond? I said, wait, you seen that? And then I asked somebody I knew. I was like, you can see. He was like, yeah.
You have to
Like,
turn your red receipt
It'll
off.
say red.
oh my God.
It'll say red. Yeah.
that's why I don't open inboxes on Facebook. Because
Right, because that one, Facebook will tell on you. You open that and
Listen,
they're gonna
busted.
know.
I think
Your
it does
whole
it in
profile
direct
picture shows
messages
up.
too.
It does. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, I thought you were
who?
talking about text
Inbox.
messages.
Mm-mm. And
I was talking about
Messenger.
messages
Yeah.
and Messenger on Facebook. Yeah.
Right, right.
Messenger was
Yeah.
Man. Listen, Alona McNair, thank you so much for joining us. Carl, like no other. Harvey, what's up? Lolita Robeson Gray, so glad you're back. Keisha Pitts, well, thank you for coming in
Thank
and
y'all for
joining
tuning
us
in.
tonight. Yes. Nana F.O. say jumped in, and Lene.
What is not the
Brenda-
FO say the crazy one?
No, that's.
No, that's either me or my sister.
Oh, you are.
She said,
Prima.
is that the
Oh.
crazy one? Oh, my.
That's not Trey.
None of the nanas are crazy. Well,
No,
yeah,
yes,
none of
yes.
Trey. Okay, none of Trey. But yeah. So Tiffany, thank you for that comment. That is so true. Alona just came straight from the hip. She
Listen.
pulled out the 45 and said, "Look, she's just not interested, bro."
Like it ain't
And
no.
yeah,
That's painful, but it's true.
we're really trying to help this listener.
Yeah.
Nana, what's going on with him?
So I'm recapping. Okay, so for y'all who are just jumping in, we have a young man who says his girlfriend goes 24 hours with no communication whatsoever. He can't stand it, and she knows this, but she says as long as they make plans to see each other physically every week, it doesn't matter if they go 24 hours without speaking. So he wants to know, is he asking too much to want to be in a relationship where communication occurs every day?
Oh, I didn't even know that part.
I just got a second perspective on that. So it's like this. Okay, babe, hey, we're gonna get together Thursday and go skating. It's Tuesday. In her mind, she feels like I don't need to talk to you no more till Thursday when we go skating because we got plans. What's there to talk about?
I guess I missed that part the first time where it says, if we're making plans to see each other, then I shouldn't have to. But my thing is, if you like and love somebody, like that should be
up to you up until the day that I get to see you. Because let's just be real. How many times have y'all even talked to someone? Let's say y'all just started talking.
Yeah.
Y'all make plans, right? And then they go ghost until the day of, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, what's up? We still on for tonight?" And it's like, "Sir, it's been 2 weeks. I thought I didn't even know that you two remember you made plans for today. What you talking about?
Can we? Oh, okay.
2 weeks is a long time,
or even a week, 4-5 days. Still, like, sir, I didn't know that you remembered me.
Can you go to Lashandra's? We're gonna read JJ, but go to Lashandra's real quick.
I want to read numbers too, but go ahead. Go Lashandra Mitchell.
Marshall.
Lashandra.
She's like a top fan. She be here every week. She says, I wonder how this person is defining communication. What if she's like, hey, big head, and then there's small talk? If he wants more than that, just see what's up, King. Definitely worth asking because we definitely need to be talking. So is it that she's not?
He said no communication.
No communication. No text, no voicemail, no voice message, no DMs, no liking, no Facebook posts, no commenting. I mean, it's just like radio silence.
Yeah. Radio silence until it's time to see each other.
Just silent.
Yeah.
Wait, let's just be quiet real quick and see how it feels.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's deafening. It's definitely like I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, the crazy part is that when you have a situation like that, whether she's dealing with somebody or not, or whatever her excuse is when you don't change to help that person feel secure, it begins to open up this place of thinking that you're dealing with somebody else. Maybe you don't. Now you're torturing me with all these thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
That gets into Thelma's comment. Let's read that.
All right. Thelma said communication is a key factor in a successful relationship. Lack of communication leads to trust issues. I had someone delete me on Facebook due to being able to comment on this show, but not calling her back. We got you in trouble?
Oh my God, Thelma, are you serious? But people will do that.
You all are women of power.
You liking posts, you comment, but you can't call me.
She share posts, right?
But y'all, we've all done it. You know, where you talk to someone, you're like, I'm about to go to bed, but then you realize you're not sleepy anymore, and you get on Facebook and you might share something, and then they're like, oh, I thought you said you were going to sleep. And
and I can't tell you how many times I've been like on my messages, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go to bed, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, let me blah blah blah, and I'll be still
up, and they see you,
and they still like these little eye emojis, like I see you, like, oh well.
Tarina Tate.
What's up, Tarina?
She always sharing.
Jennifer.
I like.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, that was a high. But she had another comment here.
Eleanor?
No, Ilona. Or it could be
Where did I even get Eleanor from?
I don't know.
That's creepy. That was a horror movie.
She did her reading
Eleanor.
But she says, look, and this kind of goes back to girl. Look. Okay, Ron DMC in the house. So it goes back to what y'all said. Mm-hmm. When someone wants something, they'll make an effort to get it.
Right.
And so I think she's going back to the fact that the lack of communication is saying lack of interest. Like, I don't really want you. But my thing is, if you don't want the brother, just tell the brother. She's just like, you know what? We're going out Thursday. It's Sunday. I'll holler at you 4 days from now.
And what kind of relationship is that?
So that means that I can't talk to you until I see you.
A whole relationship.
But you know, the crazy thing about it, we can sit here and try to, a lot of people, some people actually have a weird way of functioning, and with the way that they operate in relationships. Yeah, JJ, the new one, no, the first one. But a lot of people have a weird way of functioning. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was somebody on this earth with 1 billion people that actually feels like that's okay to move like that, and she could not be cheating. Like, we have to consider the fact that there are some people that don't think like us or not normal, and to them that's
not normal.
Yeah, that's not normal, but that may be normal for them. You know what I'm saying?
That may be
it may not be normal in our eyes. So there could be a thing where she's probably not cheating. She probably You know, it's just like that's what her comfort level is, and that's what she feels is
Her
okay.
comfort level screams single. So we're gonna go to our new audience member, Savage Squad. For Jennifer Olney, she said maybe he's boring on the phone. Maybe she wants actual time. I do that. So going back to love languages, even if your love language is physical touch or quality time, right? I think that
You still gotta meet their needs.
Yeah, you have to meet their need too. So if that's not your style, but their style is, he's already made plans and compromised by saying, okay, I see that you want to see me. That's your thing.
I
We
love
have plans to
seeing you.
see
I
you.
love seeing
Mine
you.
is not, I need to communicate with you. So you have to meet him halfway. You can't just sit back and be like, oh, well,
Right.
you got what I wanted. I'm
Yeah,
not seeing you on
right,
Saturday.
like,
Until then, like, bye, peasant. No, like, that's supposed to be
Peasant.
your kid. You don't need
No, for real.
What are you doing?
You wouldn't treat a king like that.
Right. What are you
You do
doing?
peasants like that. I ain't know.
Exactly. That's how you do peasants. Okay.
Hey, Mandy Mosley, Naquanda Swanson, Jeanette Finney. Thank you guys for jumping in on the Women of Power Radio Show. Ebony N. Mitchell, Keisha Taylor, what's up? And Zan James. I want to say Zanar
Let me see.
James, Z-A-N-R. Z-A-N-R.
Oh,
Please-
Zanir.
There y'all gonna be fancy with his
Zanner.
name.
No, Zanir.
Is it Zanir? But it's just
It could
Z-A-N-R.
be Zanir.
Oh, Zanir.
Okay, I'm sorry for butchering your
Junior.
name. James, thank you so much for joining us.
Zanir.
But yeah, and so Nana, I agree that in a relationship, it's give and take. Can everybody at least agree on that? Can y'all get some hearts and likes and just at least
Compromise.
can we just agree on one thing?
And can we agree on y'all sharing this post?
Please,
Because the
share.
Bible
Take
says
seconds.
that if we could just agree concerning any one thing, come on, that He would not withhold it from us. So can we just agree that in a relationship, it's definitely two people giving?
Yes.
Okay. So then now that that's established, go back to your point with the love language and her not meeting his love language.
Oh yeah, so I was just saying when it goes back to the love languages, if that's your love language and yours is physical touch or quality time, that's great. And you see that he's made an effort to meet you where you are because you guys have made plans so that you can get your physical time and quality, whatever. I said physical time, quality time and physical touch. Okay. But if his is, communication, whether it's a text message, a phone call, anything like that, you also have to go out of your way and meet him halfway. It's not all about
Absolutely.
you and having your needs
Halfway.
met, right? It's a
Right.
relationship.
It's
So,
about sacrifice. Can you
Right.
say sacrifice?
sacrifice.
Sacrifice. So in relationships, you have to make sacrifices. So even if he is boring, Jennifer, even if you really don't like talking to him on the phone, at least once a day let him hear your voice. The rest of the time, just text.
It could even be really, oh, go ahead.
Oh, no.
Because I'm like this, to be honest with you, because I'm such a busy person. I don't have to like talk physically to you
Yeah.
every day. Just a text will do me fine. Hey, I'm thinking about you. Oh, praise, I'm thinking about you too. I'm back on. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm back on doing my own thing. I don't need.
We don't have to do it the whole day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna kill and fight like Baron. If I don't hear from him in 6-7 hours, I'm okay with that because I understand. Just like I have things to do, they do too. So first of all, we got to have realistic expectations.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Nana can't be at work texting and responding to stuff because she's very busy in her career.
And she's texting
I
us,
do,
so she
though.
don't have time for y'all.
And sometimes she don't text us back.
Yeah,
We be
y'all,
having
that's
a-
only when y'all are, because y'all be up late sometimes.
Oh, we do.
God.
We text her at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I gotta be up in a couple hours. So I be
3:33,
like,
I'm responding. But the
Yeah, I woke up out of my sleep. It's like, it's like 3
That's
o'clock in the
them.
morning.
But sometimes when you're at work, we'll talk for like 45 minutes, an hour, and then you'll come in and be like, ha ha, LOL. Yeah. She'll start just
Right.
responding to all the text messages. And so that's one thing we have to remember. But also, you don't want to find yourself having a conversation with yourself where you're just texting, and you're responding to yourself.
You're double texting,
Yeah.
triple texting.
You know, the worst thing too is when you text and people don't respond, and when they finally do, they don't respond to what you text. They create a whole new thing.
Oh my
So you could be
God.
like, "Hey, babe, miss
Yeah.
you. What you doing?" They never respond,
Right.
and then out of nowhere, they be like, "Hey, what's up? How's your day going?"
I just
Did
sent
you just not see this text
Did
yesterday?
you not see the last 10 texts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot. That's a pet peeve of mine. So disregarded. JJ, you want to take that?
She says, but everyone isn't an introverted extrovert. Oh, extrovert like me. I don't
Hey,
expect.
stop right there. Facts. Go ahead.
I don't expect someone to communicate. I don't expect someone to communicate like me, but that because I talk and message a lot, but still show me you're interested.
See?
Right.
Oh, okay. I get what
Right.
I get what you
So
said.
Right.
you're interested.
I may text you 10 things, you text back one. We good.
Yeah.
We're communicating.
Yeah.
Baron said he is so dead for that pause when we stopped.
We just have to give people.
So let y'all feel what he was feeling. We have to feel what the listeners feeling. We have to We gotta take it there. Okay?
LaShondra has some advice for that young man.
LaShondra said, "Oh well,
Oh,
no, fam, run, King." I was about to read that all proper. Oh well, no.
I was gonna tell you, say it the way she wrote it. Oh no, fam. Run, King.
Okay.
So JJ says, I've heard men and women tell one person that they are building, JJ, trying to handle, heal, or working things out. Well, then if you're a woman or man that desires intentionality and they just told you you're unavailable, then don't put yourself in that situation. You're hurting your own self. Okay, so you're saying that you've heard men or women tell another person, look, I'm not
That's
looking
the
for
second question? Or that's
this is right now.
I think that they're still regarding the text back part.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. That that they can't speak to you because they're building.
Mhm.
Ooh, girl. Why are you in my
Let me read that. I heard
In my
men and
diary.
women tell one person that they are building, trying to
These are
handle
different things they're saying.
or
I'm
working
trying
things.
to heal. Or I'm
Oh,
trying to work things out. You know what I'm saying?
I'm building, I'm trying
I'm
to like
trying,
my
yeah.
business
And this
everything
is
that's
why
going on,
I'm
and
not
this is why.
communicating.
Then you shouldn't be here. Okay? That's the
oh, yeah.
because
she's
this
saying,
lane
yeah.
is meant for people who again are trying to be intentional and who can meet those requirements. If you can't, then this is probably something that you probably shouldn't even be doing because like you said, you're gonna end up hurting your own self or you hurt the other person.
Right. Baron says, wait, are they talking dating or in a relationship? So Baron, he's saying they're in a relationship. They're not dating.
That is his woman.
Yeah, that's
half his. That's half
it's
his
really
woman.
not
Okay.
his woman though, Baron, because I'm pretty sure he has to
She
put
about
a
to
ring
go-
on it. Okay?
Wait, you heard?
And
Wait,
if he
what?
hasn't put a ring on it, it's not really a relationship.
It
I'm
is. Just
just
because a
saying.
person is not married does not mean that they're not in a relationship.
What kind of relationship is that?
They're building to be to eventually engage. You're still in
I
some
mean, you're
type of
still in a
relationship.
You
Okay,
made a commitment.
I understand that we got this
It's not a covenant,
this
but
whole
you made a
big light
commitment.
bulb that went off, and we got
No,
this
you don't
understanding.
understand.
No,
I got a bigger light
no.
bulb
What I'm
than
saying
y'all,
is that I
apparently.
understand that we have this little thing that happened to where if there's no ring on
Little
your
thing,
finger,
you weren't there.
no. But
You
watch
weren't
it.
there the
When I
night
say
he saved
no,
me.
it
You weren't there.
CC Waters, no. Alabaster
That
box.
wasn't CeCe.
That was you weren't there when he put
that
his
song.
wrapping arms around. You don't know the cost of the oil
Don't tell nobody you sing on
in
the
my
song.
alabaster box.
That was CeCe? With
Mhm.
Alabaster? I thought it was
Yeah,
yours.
you sent
Okay,
us
I'm
a
sorry.
voicemail
My
of you
ears are
singing it.
burning.
Sorry.
She sent us. She sung the whole song to us. Remember?
Sorry. Okay, Naquanda's chunking in her opinion here. She says, wow.
You know how she talked to. She said, "Listen, if y'all ever heard Tabitha Brown? Naquanda Q sounds just like her to wear scary. Say it again. Wow, that's different. Wonder if he's addressed it before. Communication is the foundation of every good relationship. But something else might be going on.
That's my music.
She sounds just like Tabitha Brown. That's how she talks.
But that's so real though, sis. It makes you, but that's what Thelma Kataka was saying. It makes you think something else is going on. If you're not
Absolutely.
communicating with me, if you can't keep a steady line of communication, who else are you talking to?
Because you're talking to
You
somebody.
that busy, Nana? You that
I'm
busy?
very busy, but when I'm into somebody, and that's the reason why
I'm
I
trying
guess
to
for
tell
me,
you,
because
be the
I'm so busy and because I know how busy I can get, but I see the effort that I make when I'm into someone. Because the thing is, I don't play no games when it comes to even texting. If I'm into you, you text me, I text you back right away. I know we're in a generation now where everything has to be so strategic, right? It's like, don't text back too fast. If you text back too fast, that means you're clinging. You don't have a lot.
Yeah.
So you got to wait 5 minutes or at least what. I don't do all that. If I'm into you, you're gonna know. I will text you back quickly. I'll let you know what I'm doing. I do stuff like that. So for me to be as busy as I am and be able to do that, when I see that someone is not doing that,
Yeah.
I just feel like then you're not that interested because I definitely make time when I'm interested.
I'm gonna tell you this. It's this deep. If I like you this much, you know how some people, they so spiritual that when they get up, they do their devotionals and they go to God. When I check my phone when I wake up, if I'm interested in you and we're dating, I'm probably gonna text you before I get into my devotional.
Mhm.
That's
Right.
how important you are to me. Not saying you are before God, but because I have access at that moment, I want to make sure you have a good day. I want to let you know that I love you. This, that, and then I'm gonna go all that stuff. You know, my secret prayer.
You're
But
part of
you know what I'm saying?
daily itinerary.
There's
Right.
no excuse. And I think I'm reminding myself of that because y'all don't understand how many years where I convinced myself like it was that bad. I
You said he's
convinced myself, oh my God, no, you're really busy. You're trying to build your life.
He's
You're trying
building his business.
and so like when I didn't get no response and stuff, I'll be like, you know, he's really, really busy. It's like, no, if that person really like you, they gonna make sure you feel it.
Yeah.
You know, because even people that you don't date on Facebook like your picture, comment, be like, you cute, or be in your inbox. If people that you don't date can reach out to you, then the person you dating has to do way better than that.
Right, right.
Strangers are, letting you know that they digging you.
Daily.
Look.
Okay, you go to the mailbox, go to the gas station,
Come
go
on.
to Walmart.
Everybody talking. Alona says it's not normal.
Your period.
not.
It's not.
It's not. Tyrena says, look, 24 hours, no communication. That's what we call a no call, no show.
You're fired. You're
You're
fired.
fired.
Yeah.
If it was a job
Yeah.
and you went 24 hours and didn't communicate why you didn't show up, why you didn't come in, you would be fired.
Right.
So she's equivalating that to that relationship.
Yeah.
I would say I don't know about, because a lot of stuff could have happened, like we said. But if it's a continual thing,
It's been the
consistently,
pattern.
that's a
You
problem.
pay attention to patterns.
Especially if I tell you that communication is important to me.
Mm-hmm. And going back to how we talked about, without communication, you cause trust issues, because again, if I don't know what's going on with you, you're not even communicating that you're busy. There's just no communication. You're allowing me to allow my brain to fill in the gaps. And we all know, what do they say? An idle mind is the devil's playground. And I got a lot of idle time. So my mind is sitting there wondering, okay, so like you said, is it because you are busy? Did something happen to you? Are you talking to someone else? Like, are you not interested? What's going on? And so by the time you reach out to that person, now there's even tension between y'all, because I think in my mind, you've done all these things when really you could have been doing nothing, but now I have an attitude for no, so you just cause a whole lot of unnecessary problems.
And the most unfair thing you can do is to know the history of that person. If they dealt with infidelity, if they dealt with somebody hurting them, if they dealt with all of this, and you put them back in this position again to have to question your loyalty and your love to them, knowing that they just came from that.
And what is the first thing they say? Oh, well, you're bringing that stuff in from
no,
insecure. You're bringing that.
You're reigniting
no,
it.
because of what your behavior is causing me now to retract and remember, like, hey, I've been here before. That's what it's about. But people who are manipulated will use a situation like this and say, oh, see, there you go again. I thought you were going to leave the past in the past. I'm not that person. See, you're insecure.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir. Like,
when you get into a committed relationship with somebody and you're saying, I love you, I like you, and you have made a commitment to them, even if it's some things that you've never done in past relationships where you have to take that extra step and text or call or something to let them know that you're digging them just as much as they're digging you,
right,
then that's just something that you have to do. I find it crazy when people say, well, that's just not what I do. If I'm letting you know that this is going to make me feel better, and you have certain expectations from me. Now, like, even when in that particular situation, he's telling her, look, I want you to text me. And she said, no, wait till Thursday. So what if I tell you I can't meet you on Thursday? Then I'm not going to fulfill your expectation because you can't give me the same in return. You expect me to go out to eat with you?
What's wrong with it?
So why you can't text me?
Not go out to eat with you, but take you to eat.
Yeah.
Or take you to the movies. Well, not the movies anymore.
Because my thing is, what if I told you I can't take you to eat?
Look, Delma said, ain't no ghosting over here. She says, if you ghost me, then I'm assuming you want to see me. I'm on my way.
Y'all know how Pastor Kasha feel about the word ghost.
I hate that word. What's it mean?
Nothing.
I hate that word. I hate the word ghosting, and I hate ghosters. And I would never ghost anybody. I would just tell them I'm not interested anymore, or I'm moving on, or I don't want to talk, or whatever. But Alona says she thinks that he's being strung along. Like, she talked to him just to get somewhere to go.
Oh, that's what it sounds like.
I just want to take a break real quick, just a few quick seconds.
A commercial break?
No, not a commercial break. Man, one of our long lost people is on here, Antonio, and it just made me happy. Y'all know he had something sarcastic to say. He said,
wait a minute, let me find
he at the bottom. He said, hey, y'all sitting out of order. Did someone get promoted or demoted?
We switched things up over here.
Yeah, we had to switch it up, bro, because we got some new technology.
Oh my God, we missed
Everybody has not been trained. But
we talk about you every week. Like, where's Antonio at?
I talked to him this week.
That made me what?
Yeah.
You didn't tell us.
Well, sorry, Antonio, I didn't tell them. But yeah, I'm like, bro, we miss you on the show. So yeah.
All right.
What is it? Hot chocolate? Come on here. That's his nickname.
Oh, wow.
When he was a kid.
Hot chocolate.
Is it hot chocolate? I hope I got it
Did
right.
they put
I know it's
marshmallows
something
in?
to do with.
What's the secret? Thank you so much for tuning in. I see you.
What's up, Quest? Quest actually has something to say, but before you get to you, Quest, what? Girl, what?
He said, sorry, I've been MIA. My wife found out I was addicted to Viagra and she's taking. I can't read that. Oh, I can't read that. I just figured out what you did.
Okay, well, don't read it. Let's keep going. I'll get down there in a second.
I can't stand him.
Yeah. Tyrena says, look, when she's at work, she might be on the show, but she's not texting nobody. I can't see it, but yeah. So Tyrena's saying she might be the one the people busted on Facebook not communicating with her dude.
Mm.
Okay.
But why do y'all do that though?
Nikki Thompson. Nikki had a comment.
Nikki said, Zanana. Nikki said, hey, ladies, I guess I'm needy because I need you to text, call, and see me. Okay, 24 hours is way too long. Talk to me. Say something nice. Talk to me nice.
I need for you to respond to me because I don't like feeling like I'm being ignored. I feel like it's you're doing it on purpose.
That part.
For 24 hours, it gives me 24 hours of thinking of everything that you could possibly be doing outside. I mean, besides paying attention to me, it's not about keeping you all day long. I understand people are busy and people have to work, but why put somebody in that position? Would you want to be done that way? And that's really what it boils down to. Would you want someone to do you that way?
It's a song about that actually. It says, treat them like you want to be treated.
She just wanted to sing.
I really did. But you know what? JJ said her message came out. Y'all, JJ, we need a spell check on that one. Or
What?
But we need a Grammarly on that one. LaShondra Marshall says this is why it's so important to establish things like this when you're in the courting stages.
Yeah.
And then the question is, if something like this happens in the courting stages, like you realize there's a communication problem, do you still move on to a relationship?
Not if you realize that that's not going to be a need that they're going to meet for you.
When you say if you realize, are you saying like they've already addressed it and it hasn't changed?
So while you're courting, so let's say now you guys are starting, you aren't in a relationship yet, you're just dating, but they've already have shown you that they're not willing to really communicate with you. And you've let them know, well, if you're going to be in a relationship with me, I do want to talk every day. And they don't. Like, do you still move forward and hope that they change or say, I'm going to accept it? Or you walk away?
I just can't
I don't have to. Something that was reiterated to me today. If people show you who you are,
they are the first
time. If people show you who you are,
show you who they are.
Was that what it was?
If people show you who they are,
first time believe it.
If people show you who they are,
Maya Angelou.
Yes. If people show you who they are, believe them. So that means if she's already shown you she's not a communicator from jump while you were courting, then don't expect because y'all in a relationship for all of a sudden her to become this master communicator. And then the biggest red flag, and I think my girl was on this earlier, is that you have told her, I have an issue with that.
Yeah.
And she has not changed or tried to accommodate you in any kind of way.
Time to go.
I just thank God for growth because I think that this is back then it probably would have had me crying by now and stuff. But like this, like thank you, Lord, for growth because I was just in that place. Yeah. I was in that place of I had made myself believe that this was just how people operated. You know what I'm saying? But deep down on the inside, I was like, I would never do this to anybody.
Right.
Like I would never react like that. Well, maybe, but I'm not too busy. And the fact is that, so here's the thing. When you're in that place, what makes you not want to believe that what you see is what it is? You get what I'm saying?
It could be them telling you that they're going to change, that they're going to do better.
Do you think it's the fact that you really hope that they change?
Of course, because you're into them. So the potential, right? You see what you all could be. And that's the problem when we like somebody, because naturally you think ahead. So because you guys have all these other things in common, you get excited. And so in your mind, you have a vision of what y'all could be. Yeah. So regardless of what your reality is showing you, you're still holding on to the next destination. Wait a minute, if I just be patient and if we have enough conversations and maybe if they see how upset I am that they're finally gonna, and no, oftentimes you stick around and nothing changes. So
it's not gonna change them until it affects them.
Yeah.
And so when you begin to not give them what they need,
absolutely,
then they'll pay attention to you not getting what you need. Thelma Kataka says, look, all this working you gotta do, you too busy, you working all the time, you can't communicate. She said, then work your way out my life then. She said, in a relationship, you build, grow, and work together.
Yes.
That's so true. So if you got this whole separate part of you that I'm not even a part of, what kind of relationship is this? And being a part of your work doesn't mean doesn't necessarily mean I'm working with you, or we've got that a commonality, but just bringing me in. Hey, babe, I'm still at work. Blah blah blah. Just nothing, though.
Yeah.
Just nothing is not acceptable. Jill Brittany agreed with me. She says truth. Actually, she was agreeing with Thelma, but I'm just gonna take that agreement with me. Nikki Thompson, you are so right. People do make time for what they want, and somebody else said that earlier, and we were talking about that we make time for what's important. But I want to get the Quest the secret.
Quest said we got some testosterone in the room.
Come on, Quest.
In the age of technology, there is no there is no excuse for no form of communication from your significant other. Period. Baby.
Okay.
There's not, and it's true. That's what I'm saying,
excuse.
because there's so many ways that you're already going to be in your phone. We do it daily. So to sit here and say that I can get on to look at this, to respond to this, to do all that, but it doesn't cross my mind to reach out to you.
Can y'all help me though? Can y'all help me?
What
I got a whole other question not even related to what we're talking about right now, which we do need to jump to our other question. But so have you ever like talked to somebody on social media platform and then y'all move to like exchanging numbers and you're talking on the phone and then they jump back on the social media platform? It's like, but bro,
you have my number. Why are you in my inbox?
Why? You know, I understand if it's late. You don't want to wake me, but I don't get that.
You mean they go back into the messenger inbox instead of directly
texting?
People
I feel
are
like
slow.
You must have deleted me. I take it like you probably deleted me, and then all of a sudden, because why are you?
No, because my number will still be in that messenger. But anyway, Quest, thank you for your comment. Right quick, we're gonna move to JJ. LaPortia wants to know, how old are they? Nana, do you know that?
I want to say early 30s.
Okay, they're in their early 30s.
Oh, this show ain't no excuse.
Jennifer answered. She said young. Jennifer, what is young? Thelma wants to know, are they in? Look, these people need details, Nana. You're going to start asking our
And I was just thinking about what Thelma Kataka said about the long distance relationship. That show should be a reason why you should be able to communicate, because I can't see you.
Right. We should be Zoom chat, not Zoom, but what do you call it?
FaceTime and Zoom and all of that. Messenger video call.
And don't use the excuse that you ain't got an iPhone, because you can get on Messenger and still do the little FaceTime thing. So technology is so advanced now. You're able to have a whole relationship on through technology.
And they are.
No lies detected. JJ said, and I'm only texting so much, and that will be established in my expectations. I'm too old for computer love. Okay, at this big age, Brownstone said, if you love me, say it. If you trust me, do it. If you want me, show it. And if you need me, prove it. Hey, put it on a shirt. That part.
Okay. Real quick, you guys, before we get to the next question, to the next comment, I want to say what's up to Michael Clark. Thank you so much, Michael. John Muad'Dib, right? Thank you for joining us on tonight. Listen, we are so glad that everyone is tuning in. Yes. So back to the comments. We don't know how old they are. Apparently they're in their 30s. Jennifer says young. So some people 30 is young unless you're 20. Thelma says, is there long distance relationship? Thelma, I think it's close because they're making dates. Yeah, so that means they're in each other's proximity. Rena says relationships are based on communication. Now you let me think y'all know my mind will let go. Let he cheating. What? Relationships are based on communication.
My mind will go. Let he cheat. Move.
My mind will go. Let he cheating. Okay, come back with us. Tyrell, she working, y'all. So give her.
She trying to sneak text. I understand.
She trying to do it, not get in trouble. Right.
We with you, sister.
We with you, my sister. We with you, my sister.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, Thelma agrees with you that an idle mind is the devil's playground. So you got to be careful about those idle minds. Yes. Let's keep it going.
All right.
Antonio, stop. I'm just not reading his message. Tyrena, she came back and clarified herself.
She said, I'm not clingy and single, so I don't have to answer. But if I'm interested, I'll answer on my break.
Okay.
It says making time.
You making time.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. Nikki says exactly because I'll assume it's over because I'm slightly dramatic. So 24 hours go by. She's like, you know what? Guess it's over.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
How
Okay, clearly
many
this
days?
is done, and you just didn't want to tell me because what are we doing? What are you doing?
LaShawn just says it's a deal breaker.
First off, because
For sapiosexuals like us.
we don't have time. I'm a sapiosexual now.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Okay, welcome, girl.
Come on, welcome to the club.
I'm lying. Anyways, man, y'all been lost me on the third sentence. So I'm not a sapiosexual. It's as simple as this. Either you respond or you don't. Your response shows that you're trying and you care. Your lack of
Even
response
if you
shows
say
that
I'm busy.
yeah. And don't let me send a message and you press the message down. It's a heart that pop up right there. I want an actual response where you type something.
and then they count.
But to me, a reaction is an acknowledgement.
Not if I ask you a
use
question.
them. Well,
Not if I say, hey,
No,
what
no,
you doing?
like, how's your day go? Heart.
Okay, so like, what are we doing? Is it
No.
Nikki, I like Nikki because she is just so raw and so real.
What's Nikki
what you say?
Nikki said,
If it's
No, that's
Nikki,
LaShandra.
yeah, hers ain't popular yet. But anyway, Nikki says the other man has her attention. That's why she ain't calling texting.
something does.
And the thing
But
is,
it ain't a logical conclusion.
but it ain't always that.
It's not even that.
She could probably just not be that interested in him.
She's not. Like they say, her silence speaks louder than her words ever will. So at this point, it is what it is. Like she said, when people show you, believe them the first time, she's constantly showing you, brother. She's done it more than once. So where she is not that committed enough to, even after she knows it's affecting you, she's not willing to compromise and do anything different. So nothing changes if nothing changes. She's not trying to. So
And
you
don't
have to just
believe when
leave.
them Negroes be like, it ain't who I am, but I'm working. Just give me time. Okay,
You've given her time.
I'm gonna give you time,
You had
and
the first
I'm gonna give you
conversation.
time. And while I give you time, I'm gonna walk away because what you're not gonna do is waste my time
Why
while
do
you trying to
need
get
time to
so text me or call
Why do
me.
you need what?
Why you need time to take me out to eat, but I see you take everybody else out to eat? Okay, this is a whole different
Kia had a
story.
really good comment on it.
Lord forgive me.
Or is it over?
You want to take this one?
You shouldn't move forward after the courting phase if something is a clear deal breaker. This isn't a new issue. It's the continuous. It's a continuous one.
I like that.
Sir, dip.
Yeah.
Come on now. Leave.
Listen,
All right.
I
And
pray
whoever
that-
you are, we got a lot of women on here that would love to, court.
How you know?
Because she's one.
She's one of
Her
them.
I am
DMs
not.
are.
I am
Coming
not.
out, y'all. She's
Yes.
Listen,
coming out.
If you lighter than Nana, don't shoot at me. I don't want no bright skinned dude. If
You
you
like
gotta be dark chocolate,
Melanin,
I need to see the whiteness of your
masterpiece all
teeth.
up in her
I
DMs.
need to see the whiteness of your teeth and your eyeballs with waves. That's what I want, buddy. God knows my desire. And because you know what? He knows my desire because he gave it to me. It's his desire for me to have a chocolate man.
When your heart,
chocolate
when your heart
man.
is in his hands, he will give
He
you
gave me the desire to want a chocolate man.
What?
Yeah, a chocolate man with white eyeballs and white teeth and waves. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? I don't mind a beard if it look right. If it's a little sketchy and got some spaces, just cut it off because chocolate people look good without beards anyway. I mean, they just fine.
Period.
But
Lydia Rose, thank you for joining us on tonight. So listen, y'all, we are actually going to wrap this question up, or should we? It's almost 9. So should we just finish out with this one question? What?
Nikki is the last one. She said, "Now Zenobia, if she doesn't want him, we don't either."
Oh, don't do him like that. He seems like he's a good guy.
Does he?
Yeah, because he
I mean, well,
communicates.
yeah, he can.
She said,
He's
does
right
he?
about it? Like,
But he sounds needy.
how? Because he wants the communication in 24 hours?
What?
That's not needy. Because so you calling us needy who say that we should be able to communicate one text message a day is needy?
How did you switch to him being needy?
When you just said,
I
as long as
don't
you send me a
even-
text message,
yeah.
I'm fine. I don't want to talk to you every day.
But
Now
you be the
I'm-
person.
I don't know why.
I don't know why. Because you be the main one. Be like, I ain't get no
I don't
text
know why I
today.
said
Like
that,
I can't do this.
I just had that word needy in my mind. I think I was reading
Yeah,
somebody's comment.
he need her attention.
But listen, LaShawn just says, because I hear what you're saying, but I see what you're doing. Action speaks louder than words. Just saying.
Ooh, Lord, it took me a long time to get to that place.
Antonio says men don't think to call in to let their woman know their moves. They focus on providing, and he have to be shown how to communicate. It's actually a guy complaining about the girl on this. Men are not good communicators, and you know what? I'm sick of that stigma, man.
So what you gotta say?
Men
What you gotta
are
say now,
interested.
Antonio? Since it's a man.
But he said because it's not seen in a black household, so the examples that they're seeing or their role models are not communicators, so men don't grow up communicating. But that's not
an
true
excuse,
because
man.
in the Black communities, most Black households don't have a man in them. So I know that can't be the reason why the whole Black world of men are bad communicators. And so I think what it is learning behaviors.
But accepted behaviors
or
or
accepted
learned behaviors
behaviors.
because no
Like-
one's holding them to a higher standard.
Right, because even you have said before, Antonio, it's like it's so easy now for a man to just find a woman anywhere on Facebook.
Yeah.
On
Who doesn't even want to talk? You know, just
Man,
where do you want me to pull up? Oh,
right.
cool. You know, so then when you meet a woman who says, "Oh, can you communicate? Can I what?"
right, like
Ghost.
I don't even know what that means. And I actually met somebody like that.
Like
Yeah.
what?
That was like, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, to be honest with you. That's one of my problems. He said, even my mom complains about my communication because I'm just not good at that. I said, well, you're gonna have to work on that.
Yeah.
If this is gonna try to
I heard
go
that too,
anywhere.
and they did the same
And that's
thing.
and that's the
over
thing. That's a
and
different
over and
thing.
over.
Like
Nobody
for
got
him to
time.
admit, hey, this is my problem. I don't know how. That's different. She never said that. She just said, I feel like if we
And
plan to go out to
if they
eat, you know what I'm
do,
saying?
even if they do admit it, again, you have to acknowledge and also change your actions. One thing I cannot stand, because I can't tell you how many people I've met as men in dating who say, "Oh, I didn't grow up, and I'm working on it," but they're not really working on it. They're just basically
They're
using
working
it as an
on saying
excuse. Exactly. All they do is say it over and over. Well, you got to be patient with me. Nobody's perfect.
Been
I'm
patient
trying-
for
Well, what
10
have you done
years.
different? You're not doing anything different. You do the same thing every single time. So if I'm saying I'm trying and then I slip up in the midst of my trying, I give you grace. But if you're doing that and saying that and you're not doing anything, get out of my face. Amen.
Oh, that rhymed. Come on, she's a poet, y'all. And
The
you
thing
know
is,
it.
at the end of the day, we are not children. We are not in our early 20s. We're not teenagers. We're grown people. I don't know how old this couple is, but we don't have an excuse. We have to, like I said before, stop making excuses. You know exactly what to do. If you get a job and they set their expectations, you have to meet them in order to get paid and still be employed.
Right.
Otherwise, they're going to fire you. So you have no excuse. It's just a choice because you choose not to change.
Bam. I just preached on this, y'all.
Freaking crap.
I gotta go to the Ram Church, Texas YouTube
That's
and look
crap.
at boundaries because it's literally dealing with the boundaries we set in our mind.
How long do we use the excuse, I wasn't raised that way? I was raised by my mama. My daddy used to mistreat. How many years do we have to listen to that excuse? And the worst ones is that was raised in a household with both parents.
And the thing is that, and I be like, that it may not be an excuse, it may be their reality, but they're not willing to change it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? There are people who have grown up in households with where their parents' mother was being abused, but they did not grow up to be an abuser. Why? Because they made a decision that I'm not going to be like that. So there may be people who grew up in earth.
Hold on.
Zenobia!
No one can
Where
see. Nobody
is
can see.
she?
No one can see. It's only we can. It's the inside.
Oh, I'm like, where did she go though? She just disappeared. Okay, so I'm saying that, you know, there may be people that grew up in different situations that aren't a product of their environment because they made a decision.
All right.
Tyrena
So
says what they need therapy.
No, they don't need no therapy. They
And
just
if
use
they
that as an
do,
excuse sometimes.
some people do need therapy, but
Some
again,
people, but not all.
like we've talked about, if therapy is the route that you need to be in, then take that route and leave that person out of it. Because you don't get to destroy someone on your way, on your journey to healing, when you know that you're not healed. Which segues
Not
right into our
destroy
next
someone.
question. Yes.
I like what Naquanda says. She says, I totally disagree.
Okay.
My hubby is a geek straight up, but we fall asleep talking on the phone all the time. I love that.
Oh, that's so sweet. Because her husband travels a lot.
Yeah.
And so, oh man, that's when it's good, y'all. When you
Mhm.
just fall asleep.
I like that.
I do too, but I actually saw a Facebook post, y'all. Give me, it's funny. The girl, it says when you fall asleep on the phone with your side, and so
Oh, I saw that in the eyes.
The eyes is peeking in the phone, and they both sleep. I'm sorry.
That's funny.
Listen, Nikki gave a shout out to RCT.
So
Oh,
JJ,
sorry.
which is the last comment.
Where's your shout out?
JJ is the last one. She says, see, when men try to be transparent, we have to learn to affirm some truths. Some people may not know how to change. Some of us aren't as effective at communication as we think. You may have to decide if you want to teach the person. Just saying, Music Soul says, teach me how to love. Yeah, but ain't
But
nobody
at least he acknowledged he needed to
Right.
be taught.
He
Yeah.
was willing to learn. So
Yeah.
there's
He
something
want to like teach me.
yeah, that we talked about, even going back to last week's show, right? When it comes to you dating someone and wanting to, quote unquote, I won't say change them, but if they're willing and say, okay, I can admit that this is an area that I need help in, right?
I love
So
that.
whenever I fall short or whatever, like, I want you to teach me how to love you. I want you to tell me. That's different than someone who's not willing to change and you're having to beat them over the head
Right.
to say, I need you to do this.
Right.
I want you to do this. If they're not willing, then you are trying to change them because they're not ready. But when they actually need the help and want it and they can admit to it, then it's open for you to actually try to work with them to give them grace to reach that point.
But I was gonna say too, Nana, it doesn't necessarily have to be that all their other relationships were unsuccessful, because we're all individuals, and that's something we've talked about. The way you love Zenobia is not the way you love me. The way you.
Oh yeah, I never said anything about successful relationships. I was saying when it
that's
comes to-
unsuccessful. Like teach me how to love.
I'm just saying in
I
general
failed.
because, for
I'm a
example,
failure.
no, I saw a
What's up?
post, right, and this was
I need help.
on social media. Okay, one of the groups, relationship groups that I'm in, a man, and y'all know men are not vulnerable like this.
Right.
A man came out and said, look, Black women, like, I was raised A, B, and C. So I'm just letting you know, if my wife is in this group or my future, whatever, that when it comes to dating me, that I am going to need help in certain areas, that if I'm wrong, I want you to correct me. Now you would have thought that women would have looked at them and been like, wow, like he's open. They came for him. When I say they came from people, I ain't got time for that. I ain't gonna be teaching no grown man. If I gotta teach you, then I'm not. When I tell you my jaw dropped, I was like, y'all, he's being vulnerable. He's willing. The mistake y'all make is y'all do that with guys who aren't willing, and then you get frustrated and
When
say,
they don't want to
when they don't want to.
I'm not
then
gonna
you
lie,
can say,
I would love
That's
a man
meant
to
to
come
be-
to me and be like, hey, you know, I love you. I'm not perfect. I do.
They
You know, I
came for
struggled
that,
emotionally
man.
back
Like,
then.
no, they came for
You
that,
know, I
man.
don't know how to be as emotional, but just teach. Do you want me to compliment you? Like, does it work for you? Because you do have to teach people. Like,
Right.
you.
And the thing is that
I think that is absolutely
you have
beautiful.
to teach every new person you get into a relationship. Why? Because they
Every
never
person
dated
is
you
different.
before. They never
Right.
been in a relationship with you before. They don't know what you like. They don't know what your favorite drink is, your favorite food. They don't know you hate blue. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? So there's a teaching that has to go.
Was it a Black group you was in?
Irregardless.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? There's a teaching that has to be done irregardless. Even in
Right.
friendship, I gotta teach you how to be my friend.
Right.
Because I don't like friends that are messy. So I gotta let you know I don't like messy people.
Yeah.
So that you can be the friend that I would appreciate.
That's how my friendship with Sarah. Everybody knows me and her are really good friends. I was always the friend that texts. Like, I'll text you, maybe we'll do a FaceTime, and they was in. And she was like, no, she said, my love language is for us to hang out sometimes. Let us go out to eat or something like that. That wasn't the type of person that I was. But because I value her and she's my friend and I love her, I said, okay, there are some changes that I have to make. But I would never know had she never told me.
Right.
So you have to be able to communicate. I think nobody will never be at a point to where they can't change or where there's not something that they need to work on. So if you walk in a relationship and say, no, this is me, this is, no, there's something wrong, because everybody has something to work on.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
Right.
But that's the problem. Some people think they are. And if you take a imperfect person that thinks they're perfect, you're going to have issues.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to believe anything because they think their stuff doesn't stink. And I want y'all to know it does. But the thing is that it's not about dwelling on what smells. It's about getting that soap and that water and cleaning it up.
Okay, get some poopery and fix
I
it.
want to read this real quick from
Get the what?
The poopery. You know that spray?
Oh yeah,
Potpourri?
No, it's called poopery.
P-O-O.
You spray it in the toilet when you use the bathroom.
When you
so you
when
know
you
you
travel,
don't use the bathroom.
when you like on airplanes and stuff
Lord
like that.
Jesus. Yeah.
Why are you making that face?
Because
It's
I never.
literally called poopery.
It
And she's
is.
from Fort Worth. She happens to be
The
like,
lady is?
yeah, she's not like one of the richest in Texas. They had her on.
Wow.
I'm about to
Richest
meet her
women.
soon because I'm gonna be the one on that list.
Yeah, when you're traveling or you in somewhere where there's a public restroom, you want to spray that poopery so you're not exposed.
I thought she
John-
just was from another country, so I thought she couldn't say potpourri right. That's the only reason why I said
No,
potpourri.
it's poop.
Poo-poo, like poo-poo, poopery.
Poo-poo, pop-pop.
Are you tired?
John
of
Roy
sticking
D
up
says,
the
yo, he didn't tell her he expects her to communicate every 24 hours or she bogus up front. Who does that? So stop talking expectations, Z. First of all,
Next person.
he did tell her that he wants her to communicate that 24 hours is too long. And so she's just not, hold on. I think JJ's got the comeback. See,
I read that one.
when men choke, go ahead and read it then.
See, when men try to be
No, I said I read it.
Oh, you did?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that's why they said
Wow.
sing the song. That's why they were saying earlier.
Y'all
Y'all
teach me
singing.
how to love.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
I do
okay.
remember that.
I just
part.
want to read the.
Hey,
first sentence.
Javon, thanks for tuning in. Some testosterone. Hey, okay.
Come on here. So Jennifer up north says, up north here. I'm sorry, Jennifer up north.
That's your new name, sis.
You are up north though, Jennifer. You up there. Way you said Lake Huron. So that's
Up there.
way up there. Up north here, it's so cold. People get frozen in their ways.
I like that.
I love that analogy. I really like it that you so believe in growth. Absolutely. Jennifer.
Absolutely.
We have to. We are to consistently be becoming.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Until
Like
the day we
becoming,
leave
like-
here. Like, it doesn't stop.
Right.
Because
To
there's
the
many
ends of the
times
earth.
where I'll be
Yeah.
so
Until
excited
it's time.
where I'm at a point where I'll be like, oh my God, I'm here now. And it's like a whole nother level of growth that I have to go through.
Yeah.
Because something else, you're always changing, you're always growing.
Right.
And so, I hate that those women bashed him like
When
that.
I tell you that, I was just like, I was floored. It was few
Right.
women who were like, wait a minute, y'all, like, that's a beautiful thing. But so many have the mindset that if I have to tell him or that means he's got some growing up to do. And
Right.
just like we talked about last week, like, where is a plethora of buildings that are in any given city, all these different companies, but everybody runs their company different. Just because I'm a woman, she's a woman, doesn't mean we operate the same.
Yeah.
So for each person, they're going to let you know, like, hey, accountability, right? They don't know coming in, but you have that first conversation to where it's been established that this is what I expect, this is what I like, and the person moves from there.
Right.
You give them grace to move from there. And even after you
Grace.
communicate, they're still going to slip and fall. Why? Because they're walking towards what you asked them to do. It doesn't happen overnight.
It
But when
doesn't.
we have the mindset that, oh, well, even if I
I'm
just communicated
trying.
and I told you once that he wanted, I don't got time to, that's not love.
And
That's
the
not
thing
even
is like for a
realistic.
lot of the women, and it's a lot of women that says that ain't nothing wrong with me. That's because ain't nobody called you out on what you do
When they do, they
and
don't
addressed
like
you
it.
about how
Oh
you
no,
act.
they've been called out.
They just don't.
They've been called out.
What
They
a
just
hater.
ignore
I'm
it.
cut
Right.
them off.
Right. Yeah. Like, oh, you don't like me? That's cool. That's fine. No. Check yourself.
Before
Yeah.
When
check
you point a
yourself.
finger at somebody, I know this is old. There's three more pointing at you. So really, before we start pointing out flaws in everybody else, we need to be examining ourselves. The Bible says, examine yourself. And so I think that we're missing that.
Yeah.
And and then going back to this young man, that was really sharing himself and then just got bashed for being open. It's such a misnomer that men shouldn't be emotional. They shouldn't have feelings. They shouldn't express their feelings. They should have to be this stone.
Yeah.
Or even John talking about what do you call them? Metrosexuals. Listen, men have emotions too.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some of them are taught since children, you better not cry.
Yeah.
You better not, you better not show that you feel anything.
Yeah.
Just
And
like
so
that
they-
post, the baby
right.
shower thing. People were saying how the guy was so soft because he wanted his girlfriend to leave the baby shower. And it's like someone is dying and people are getting
Right.
called soft because he wanted his significant other to come home. It's
I just seen a post today where a male teacher said that one of the little male students was crying, and he was like, "Hey, you stop crying, wipe your face." And the boy responded, he was like, "Hey, I have a right to express myself."
Right.
And the teacher said that when he said that, he couldn't even say nothing following that because we have this way of operating to where we tell our young men, y'all can't cry, y'all can't show emotion and like that. Then women want to go sit up here and bash men, and then they can't be honest and true with who they are because y'all putting them in a box to where they can't express themselves.
Right.
I think if you're watching and you're a man, it's okay if you cry. It's okay if you
It
express
is.
yourself. You have emotions. We understand that. And for the women that sit there and they sit here and bash them, y'all are absolutely wrong. Y'all are wrong. And whether it's something that you're dealing with yourself, you need to take that up with God. You know what I'm saying? How can you not expect a man to express himself? Who is he when you marry him then? Like, are you like,
Right.
I don't
And this is what you
understand
have
this.
to realize. In the scripture it says God cries. It said he got angry. It said he
Jesus
had joy.
wept.
He wept. Jesus wept.
Jesus
In
wept.
the Bible. So therefore, if we are made in his image, male and female,
We all gonna weep.
then we all are gonna weep. So it's not a sign of weakness. It
Weakness,
doesn't
yeah.
mean a man is weak if he weak. It doesn't mean he's weak if he cares and loves somebody.
It shows
Doesn't mean-
emotion.
right?
Like, he's
It shows
supposed
he's
to.
not a robot.
He's human.
I ain't gonna lie. One of the most beautiful things to me is to see when a man cry, but cry for the right reason because he's not either broken, emotional, extra, he's happy.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. And men feel like they can't do this. So for the women that come across the men and be like, he's not this, he's not that, is because so many people have bashed men being like that. They don't even know how to be open and be like that.
They feel ashamed.
Yeah.
It's like I can't show any true emotions because I'm going to be, called a female. I'm going to be called gay. I'm going to be called this. Nikki had a really good point too. Nikki says that women too, because she was raised.
When she said, I was raised to not show emotions, so in my adulthood, it's still kind of weird for me to show emotions.
So did you have a bunch of brothers? Was your dad prevalent as a parent figure? Because normally it's the men who don't want, you know what I'm saying? And then if it's a bunch of boys, they be hitting their daughters like, you better, suck it up. You better dude, I'm not a man. And really, you shouldn't be doing them like that.
Either. And then they grow up and y'all wonder why they're not emotionally vulnerable.
Right.
Because,
To all the fathers and mothers that are watching on tonight, I want to say to you to allow your children to express emotions. That's how they grow naturally. When you have a child that's crying, it's not time to say, shut up, stop that crying. They're crying for a reason.
Right.
And so you need to allow them to express that emotion. And then you wonder why kids get 16, 17, they shooting up schools and they blowing up houses and they doing all this crazy stuff. It's because they have not been able to go through the natural process of expressing emotion.
And that makes me think about something that just happened this week at home. It actually made me a little emotional with you talking about it that way. My youngest son came up to me and he was crying. I kept hearing them say he's crying because of this, and it was a reason. And so I finally said, hey, come here. I said, what's wrong? And he told me why he was crying. I was going to say, okay, go lay down. But in that moment, something said, no, let him cry and ask him what's wrong. Let him express himself. Let him know it's okay. I understand. And I hugged him, because the thing is that I hate the way that we make men feel like they can't express themselves. And I said, with my sons, I wasn't going to put them in a box to make them feel like they couldn't be open with somebody or they couldn't cry. Who says that they can't cry?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a form of love. You know what I'm saying? That's a form of expression.
Actually a form of abuse. Not allowing them to. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, going back to
she'll sue you. She's an attorney.
Yeah. Going back to what you all said, there also that culture, right? It establishes an environment for things to happen where, because kids have been taught to not be emotional, they show no emotion when they're being abused. They show no emotion when they're being getting sexually molested, because all these times, because I've come across, even I have friends who do like the CASA program where you're like a child advocate, right? And there's some households to where they were saying, like, some of the kids are teenagers now, but they were saying even as kids, they were always told, suck it up, don't cry, don't whatever. So when so-and-so started doing stuff to them at a young age, they always were still, I'm gonna suck it up. I can't cry. I don't want my dad to know that this guy touched me. I don't want. So they never said anything. But why? Because that culture created an environment to where it's suck it up. Don't say nothing. You bet not cry. You bet not. So whenever things are happening to them that are extremely inappropriate, that are hurtful, they can't show. They've been trained at this point to not show emotion. So it took until they were in their teen years to find out that this has been going on since they were like 6 or 7. You know what I mean?
That's the way that I was raised. I got 5 brothers, and I was raised, and we got boy cousins. A lot of them are in gangs and stuff like that. You were just taught for people to be tough.
Yeah.
I grew up thinking that it was weird for a man to cry, or a man to be like, hey, how you doing? Or a man to like compliment, or a man to do this and that, because it's just not what men do. What men do, they work,
right?
They provide, and they claim you, and that's just who they are. But imagine how much more peaceful the world would be, or more beautiful, if we allowed men to just openly express how they feel in the moment. No, I'm angry at this.
Yeah,
this has upset. You know what? I am a little discouraged because I can't afford to pay the bill today. I don't know about money coming in, and it makes me feel bad for men. You know, it makes me feel bad for the men.
Absolutely, they got to try to hold all that in and hold it all together all the time, and that's not realistic. Nobody can hold it all together all the time. We are infallible. No, we're fallible people. Yeah, we're not infallible.
Yeah.
And so therefore, we have to have these moments. It's natural. It's actually a way of excretion. It's a way of releasing. It's a way of
catharsis.
Pretty much. Yeah. And so listen, Marilyn Holland, thank you so much for joining us. Erica Everett, David James, listen, we're so glad you guys are tuned in on tonight. We've been dealing with this question with this poor guy who is in a relationship with a woman who goes up to 24 hours without communicating with him at all. And he's like, I'm in a relationship. I need to hear from you. He's expressed that to her. She's not understanding that. And he's wanting advice. As Nana says, is she for the streets? And to be honest, so Nana says she is for the streets. So we're just trying to give some advice. But while we were talking about that, we got into the fact that because this man has expressed that, there have been people that have said, oh, he's needy, he's soft. I even said it just reading off somebody's comment and actually reiterated it myself and didn't even know why I said it. But he's soft.
Never mind.
That he's soft. And so, so we as a people have to be free to express, and expressing our emotions is a way of release. And sometimes it's just going to the top of a mountain and yelling. I mean, we see people do it all the time, but that's actually, like you said, catharsis.
There's even a place where Sparkle just went. It's called Endorphin Factory.
Yeah, where they break.
You get to go to just relieve stress. You can shoot guns. You can go. They put you in a room. They have sledgehammers, things to crowbars, things to just break stuff just because you want to relieve stress. So you'd be surprised if you are feeling, I'm feeling like I'm stressed and you want to do something, check that place out. I think it's in Dallas or Fort Worth, I'm not sure, but it's called Endorphin Factory.
Nikki had a good comment. She said, yes, that's true. It's not good to keep feelings in. It creates psychological issues. And it does, sis, it does. Tyrone Bernard, thank you so much for joining us on Tyrone. Tyrone had actually a very good recommendation. He said, check out the book, Shepherding a Child's Heart.
Yeah.
My brother of 4 kids recommends it to everyone. And so for the parents that are online right now, you might want to check out Shepherding a Child's Heart, because we have to, parents, I said we, but I'm a parent to the nation, but I'm saying we have to be mindful.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are both parents. And even Tyrena was talking about her boys, and she was saying how she hold her babies tight. In the morning when they're crying, and she just lets them cry because it's a cry for help or for advice. Man, I love my boys. I love your boys too. But as parents, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Both of y'all got boys. Yeah.
I think it's necessary to allow them, especially at a young age, to express themselves. Like Jordan and Poopy is different. Jordan really won't, but I let him know that it's okay. You want to set them up that way at a young age, so when they do get in a relationship or friendships where they are needing to communicate, they'll know how to do it and not have to feel like they have to keep it in. That is damaging to who they are. It can be damaging emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely okay. John.
Well, then
and then like for me, and even in my experience, even when I have talks with my son, let's just say if it could be about anything, even when it's a disciplinary issue and we're having a conversation, I always talk to him in such a way that I feel like he's going to be very equipped, when it comes to, having conversations and expressing how he feels, because he's already very deep in a sense. He likes to write poetry, all of that stuff, just like me. But I've asked him, there's been times when we have conversations. And so after I'm done and I've told him what I expect of him, and I always say, okay, so now that you've heard, like, what did you take from what I just said? And you'll tell me, and I'll say, okay, so what do you need from me as far as my, the way that I talk to you, whatever it is, to help you also reach the goal that we just discussed? And he might say, okay, well, maybe sometime when you talk to me like this, or so I always give him an opportunity after I've told him, like, look, you need to do A, B, and C to even tell me what can I do to help you? And the first time I asked him that, he was shocked, because him and his father and I are not together, right? So our parenting styles are completely different. His father is just like what they talked about, the suck it up, the world's not going to play fair to you. I don't care. You're going to be like, he just talks to him, and because for him it's like the world is not going to coddle him, so why?
And that's probably how he was talking,
right? And it is. And so I always tell my son, well, don't take it personal, because that's just how he was raised. But at the same time, to also know that there's nothing wrong, because the way that we communicate, when his father finds out we've had a discussion, he'll say something to him and make him feel like, oh, well, I'm soft for talking to my mom about that, or I shouldn't have said. And I always tell him there's nothing wrong with communication. Is imperative. You're going to need that in school. You're going to need it in work. You're going to need it in life. So at this point, you're a skilled communicator. Whether you see that or not, you'll see it later, but it's going to pay off in the long run. And that's what we need. We need to be able to have conversations like that with our children, And
the thing is that you have to make sure you raise them that way, because if at some point as a woman, I'm not only speaking to women right now, if at some point as a woman you've dated men and it bothered you that they were never open, that they never communicated, that they had this hard shell that they operated in, that reason alone is a reason for you to allow your sons to express themselves, or otherwise you're raising them to be just like the same people that you didn't like. You can prevent your son from being in a relationship with a woman and making her feel some type of way by training them now on ways to express themselves. So then that way we don't have this issue of, do you love me? Do you care about me? Do you really want me? Because now he knows how to communicate.
Because they're used to hugs. They're used to hearing I love you.
Right.
It's not like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I've never heard that before. So I'm just, you know.
That just reminded me of when Smokey Norfield.
Hey, we got Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, with his son.
Hey, Jennifer Lopez.
What's up, Rakita, Chris? Thank you so much for joining us.
Smokey Norfield posted this picture of his 16-year-old son laying on him, fell asleep on him, embraced him.
And then they
people ate him up.
And it was probably people who had no fathers in their life.
And I said, you know what, me and my niece, because I have a 21-year-old and a 22-year-old, and they have no problem getting up on my chest and laying with me, getting in my bed with me. You know, that's just love. But what has happened, and I noticed this many years ago, when I say many, maybe whenever they started making that type of lifestyle acceptable on television and all these other venues, I noticed that the natural things that we would do to show affection to each other as friends was now different. We're like, even like my niece, sometimes like when we go to the store, she loves to hold my hand, and I would be like, she is holding my hand. What, you know, you start feeling self-conscious. Why? But 10, 20 years ago, I wouldn't have thought nothing about it. You know, women held hands all the time. Friends held hands. You know, now men wasn't holding hands. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying it was an acceptable form of affection. Yeah. And now, because of what the world has the perversion, because what does the enemy do? The enemy comes to pervert everything. So he's perverted a regular relationship. He's perverted love. He's perverted God. Your child. Right.
And I think if y'all are willing to sit here and lay with any and everybody in their bedroom, spread your legs, do all this stuff with any and everybody, but you can't show no emotions, you can't show no expression of how you feel or if you're hurt, but you're willing to sleep with any and everybody, which is a very valuable part of you. And it talks about your body being a temple in the Bible too. So how can you pick and choose? Wouldn't you want more of the emotional end of it?
Right.
Like that's something that you should want. Like people are backwards.
Because I also even came across, reminds me too, there was a girl who was so just upset, a new mother who felt some type of way about her husband changing their daughter's diaper because she was a girl. She was like, she just doesn't feel comfortable as a man.
And this is your husband. This is the child's
father. She doesn't feel comfortable. It's like, no, if he wants to change the baby, it's like, no, I got it. I'm not here. He doesn't need to be wiping up. It's his daughter, y'all. Like, it's just the smallest things that have been perverted. People who kiss their kids on the lips, who are young. Oh no, you shouldn't be doing.
I kiss my son, my little one. He be like,
his daughter in the mouth. That's the y'all. Did you not have love in your family? Did your parents not show? Why is it that these?
Well, the thing is, have you been molested or something? You just never addressed it, so now you got an issue with it because you never were able to take care of it.
Right.
Okay, Ricky wants to know real quick since she just tuned in. So Ricky, she sees the question on the bottom, but it's not lining up with our conversation.
Yeah.
So pretty much, Ricky, this question on that scroll on the bottom of the screen was submitted by a man. But as we were discussing his situation, some things came out that kind of was saying, you know, men shouldn't be feely and, you know, touchy and emotional, right? And so we kind of shifted that whole conversation to how society, and when I say society, it's really parents and family members who feel like, because they were told as a man, you're not supposed to cry.
And a lot of it is the Black community.
The Black community. They're raising their sons and now their nephews to be like, you better not cry. You better not show emotion. And so that segue into Tyrone Bernard. He says there has to be a balance. And Tyrone, you are so right. There has to be a balance. And he actually recommended a great book. You guys scroll up to see what that book is. Jennifer Rogers only says that it's a give and take, and so it definitely is a give and take. And
Javon Jackson right there.
Yes, Javon. Thank you so much for joining us, Javon. Jay Jackson, or is it Jai? I'm just gonna say Jai because I'm extra. Okay, what did Javon have to say, y'all?
Javon said, boys who aren't taught how to articulate their emotions become men who struggle with identity. Articulating their emotions teaches them how to hear themselves and gives language to how they feel. And that's so true.
Thank you.
It's important because even as a woman at a young age, as a girl, if I were taught how to express myself and not bottle everything and not, you know, if somebody treated me this way, if somebody touched me this way, or this and that, we were just taught to shut up about everything and you just keep it going. If I was taught, I think that a lot of my love life would be different, but it was because I wasn't taught communication.
But do you
so I can only imagine about me.
How many parents I've seen where like the child comes in and they're crying, they're like, they don't even say, what is it? What do you want?
At them
and they said, no, you say, what do you want? What is it? You know what I'm saying? And give them a chance.
Don't
And then she
tell what I
corrects
be
it.
doing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because they be knowing when you on the
Well, 'cause
phone. They always walking in the room.
It's like they discerning the spirit.
Yeah.
But she's a good parent. But I'm saying there are some parents that don't even want to know what's wrong with you. Just get out. Like they could be getting hit in the head with an iron by their brother. But they will never ask. Right. Yeah. They will never ask what's wrong with you, what's going on. So I think it's important. Javon, thank you so much for your comment on tonight.
Can I read something? Can you go to John?
Where?
Right there. He says, so my daughter is a crier. I have instructed her not to respond to my challenging her to shape up with tears. I tell her that life is going to present many challenges to her as an African woman, and yes, I want her to respond with words and not tears. That's not healthy to me.
That's not healthy. Yeah. That's not healthy. Why?
That is not healthy at all.
Tears are what come when there are no words. And to be honest with you, it's not easy. She's only 16. So it's not easy for her to articulate how she's feeling in a moment. But even as a grown woman, I cry. Mm-hmm. I have moments of tears. And that's my way of expressing it. And so I would be offended if somebody said, Kasha, use your words, not tears.
That's
tears for a reason.
That's manipulative to me in a sense. You try to build her to be somebody that so you're basically shaping her to be the idea of what you think she should be, not who she should be, not who God has called her to be. You're telling her she can't express through tears. Now, it would be different if it was a type of situation to where every time something happened, good or bad, it was like, then you mold her into saying, learn how to control your emotions sometimes. Right. It doesn't always require that, but to tell her, to instruct her not to cry, that's an issue.
To use her words only.
So
that's not
she healthy. Is he saying she cries when he tells her to shape up?
He just says she's a crier.
Yeah, I have instructed not to respond to my challenging her to shape up with tears. So she cries when he.
Oh, I didn't mean to click my arm over there.
Oh, Thelma?
Yeah.
Hold on. All right, Thelma, tell us, is this a clap back or is this just a comment? We'll find out here shortly.
Thelma said,
you know, Thelma don't play.
She does
Thelma
not.
said, I'm an African woman. Me too, gal. I don't believe that
African American or African.
We are African.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just from I'm from the part that don't see the sun.
African.
She's from Mother Africa.
Yes, Mother Africa. I'm an African woman, and I don't believe that nationality should be given a pass to disillusion a child of their emotions. In order for you to have words, they must stem from emotion, and that's true. As a
did you just pull your hair out your head?
Girl, that was a little strange. You know what? Why is you pointing out my infallible?
I just seen hair come out.
And pointing out what I got going on over here. Listen, Kia Lewis came back and said, "Would you say, Kia?"
That's not even a natural response. She will learn not to express herself and hold in what she feels. It will bottle up. He's building her as what you, John. But the thing is, he's building her the way that young men are being built by other men. You building her like a dude.
You have to let people express the way they express. If it's an unnatural expression, like Nana said, if it's just like over crying, then you may need to take them to a therapist because they need to work through some stuff. Yeah. But for a 16-year-old to cry when she's being berated, you're calling it shaping her up. It's called beration. Okay. Mm-hmm. So of course that's a natural response.
What's berated?
Like you're in trouble, so I'm like talking to
correct
you.
Correct. Yeah.
So we're using another fancy. I'm just
right. Sure. So you're right, kid. That's not a natural response. Mm-hmm. When babies are born, they don't use words.
They make them cry. They spank their little booty.
Right. It's healthy to cry, John. Okay, they encourage them to cry, John. Okay, when they want something, they cry. So crying is a cry for help. Like I need help. I'm hurting. Mm-hmm. I need something. I'm hungry.
And you talk them through it. That's the thing. When emotions like that happen, that's why I say, like, when it comes to my son or even my nieces and nephews, I don't tell them, "Oh, shut up," or "Why are you crying?" or "Shape up." I always sit down and I'll come to them and be like, "It's gonna be okay. So tell me, why are you crying? What's going on?" And they'll express. What?
She came with something real.
Oh, and they'll
go ahead when you finish.
Yeah.
And they'll express and say, "Well, I'm crying because this happened or whatever." And we have a whole conversation about, okay, why is it you feel that way? But you do understand if things are going to get better, you have. So instead of me attacking their response, I go to the mindset and we have conversations to where now they know how to react in certain ways because they think differently about whatever it is that is going on. Their perspective changes. So I'm trying to shift their perspective. I'm not trying to shift their response. Right. So that's the thing. And if their perspective changes over time, guess what? Their emotions will change because they won't be triggered because
Right.
I actually talked her through it and said, look, this is what it is. It's going to be better. So when it happens now, it doesn't hurt so bad. Why? Because
Right.
we talked to them about it. But if I just say, quit crying, stop, you're not doing anything but making them suppress it. They're not, but there's not a
That's not
shift
good.
anyway.
That's not
So
healthy.
nothing's going to change, right?
Listen, I want to say what's up to Kendall Shepherd. Thank you so much for joining us, Kendall.
Hey, you guys.
And Yairo Sumaya. Let me know if I'm right, Yairo. Thank you so much for joining in. Or is it Yairo?
Let's hear what Thelma Akataka said, because
Oh.
this is like, I had to talk to my kids about this.
Okay.
She says, and this is a response to as well, John. She says, let's pray those words don't turn into a suicide letter. Because you're telling them not to express themselves with
don't
tears.
cry, just use words. Well, she's saying, listen, don't let those words, because of all that bottled up crying that they couldn't do. Come on here. LaPortia Jackson Kimball says,
I tell myself and my family members that tears are like cleansing the soul.
Yes.
That's the line in one of my poems, sis.
Like-
They're so on point.
yeah,
They are. That's
Which
exactly
one?
what they are. I've never shared it with y'all. It's called Tears.
Really?
Yeah, it's an old piece, but
You
that's
should
exactly
share
what it is. It's in my email. I can find it.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's exactly what it is. And that's why I say the Lord gave us tears for a reason. He gave us tear ducts for a reason. You're supposed to release those emotions. So to suppress them is not healthy. I would say, if anything, talk your children through why they're crying.
Yeah.
And let's talk about, affecting it or trying to shift their perspective so that they don't cry because their perspective has changed. It doesn't
Right.
hurt so
I've seen
bad.
a
Not
lot
that they
of
shouldn't
parents
cry.
lose children, and I don't blame every parent, because some parents don't know how to teach kids because they weren't taught. But I've seen many of parents lose children behind suicide, and it was like, I don't know what I could have done, this or that. And it comes out that the kids were expressing that they needed conversation, they needed to communicate, but the parent didn't know, they just ignored it.
Mm-hmm.
Not purposely sometimes. They didn't know how to deal with the way that the kids would act, the way that they were acting out, the grades dropping in school, the bullying in school. Maybe they start to act a certain way. Parents didn't know how. So for you to openly say you're gonna, basically have your child operate this way, you're almost the parent that knew, you know what I'm saying, and become responsible
Kia has a
for
really
that
good
action.
point. Kia Lewis, she said, all parents will correct and lead. You are assigned as an overseer of your child, not an oppressor. If you don't want to build a wall where they hold in things that will make you feel they are crybabies, allow them to express themselves. It doesn't make them right or wrong, but they are heard. And that's what you want. You want them to have the ability to feel like I can be heard and I should be heard. So that travels into every area of their life. Because if you're telling them to suppress it in this area, they're going to start to suppress a lot more in areas that are going to affect them tremendously when they become an adult.
I don't see how you can tell your child to suppress their emotions when you don't.
No, I don't want you to share your poetry. What's your poetry page?
My poetry page is Nana O, exotic poetry. If you put in, I can probably. How do you pin again? Do y'all remember?
I'm typing it now.
She could probably pin it on there.
Okay. It's if Nana O. Yeah, Nana O exotic poetry or exotic poet. I'm sorry. But if you go on Facebook and just put in,
You sound crazy.
Right. So LaPortia said share it with us. She is gonna share it, Portia. But if you want to hear some poetry right now, Nikki, go ahead and you can go to her Facebook page. Well, not this moment, but as soon as we log off, go to Nana O Exotic Poet so you can check out her poetry. John, I'm gonna read this one last comment from you.
It's crazy.
Because I'm saying, please stop and just really stop to think, if everybody on here is saying that that's wrong, and you're trying to quote the Bible to us regarding that, then that to me alone lets me know you're not open and receptive to what we're saying.
I believe he's
says,
open and receptive. I think he's purposely
do
doing
y'all not read the word of God? It says it's a time and place for everything. That's wisdom from the wisest man ever lived. And just so you know, John, he's still alive. Hey,
Yeah.
Come on here. But yes, there is a time and place for everything, but that has nothing to do with emotions. And if you read it, it says there's every time for everything under the sun. It says a time to kill, a time to plant, a time to pluck.
Come on here.
So it never says a time not to cry.
Come on now.
But a time, you know what I'm saying? So it's really talking about seasons if you really go into the etymology of the words. So I want to encourage you, my brother, to get in there and study and dig deep into the original language in which that was written, which is going to be
was it Hebrew?
this is, you found it?
I wrote this in
poem?
college. Yeah, this is
Okay.
very old. All right, so this is a very short that I wrote when I was in college. It's
Can we
called
say
Tears.
just a shout out real quick?
Sure.
What's up, Matthew Jackson? Thank you so much for jumping on and joining us tonight. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry.
All right, so this is it's just called Tears. It says, they say tears are blankets of our souls, liquefied in the heat of emotion. With each drop, they heal us. It's okay to cry. Don't be afraid to pull out your blanket. On nights that are cold, on days when what the world offers you is not on a silver platter, when the pain of your heart is so heavy, nothing else seems to matter. Allow the faucet to turn. With each breath, they flow faster. Tears, the way they work, just another wonder of our master. Tears are the wet kisses of our ancestors, saying, let it out. Everything is going to be all right. For many, a tear hath fallen since the beginning of time. See, God for his children, Moses for his people, as he prayed Pharaoh would listen, slaves for their family, minorities for their freedom. These blankets soothe souls, make broken hearts whole, and carry the weights of our hearts. Tears, just let them flow and wash the pain away from your soul. That's it.
Ooh. Come on, y'all
Sis.
give her some hearts and some likes.
And we
Yes.
can all say that when you cry, like there's like it's almost like something was lifted.
Right, it's a blank, it's like a piece.
Yeah,
because
it's
it's a
like,
release. That's what it is. Yeah.
I feel so much
Yes.
better after tears, whether they're good tears or they're tears
Matthew gave
from
me 5
hurt.
snaps.
All of
Thank
that.
you.
Yes. So listen, you guys can scroll up and check out Nana's poetry page. Make sure you like it so that when new stuff comes on, you will get a notification. Everybody saying yes. Nikki gives her snaps. Come on here. Yes, Nana. Come on here, Nana Osei, Tarina says. So listen, you guys, be on the lookout because Nana is a poet in the DFW and she's always putting out new stuff. So you want to stay connected with her. Zenobia, of course, has the Zenobia Harvey collection. So you want to make sure you connect with the Zenobia Harvey collection where she makes unique, one-of-a-kind items that
accessorize your life, your
Listen,
whole life.
You'll never find
me.
you'll never find it anywhere else.
You will never ever, and you probably won't ever see it again.
See, you probably won't, because I never remake the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you want to check out the Zenobia Harvey collection. So listen, we are so
Pastor,
thankful.
let's still go. You
Your
got a
book.
whole book out here.
The Changing of the Guard. Okay, make sure you get it on Amazon and everywhere books are sold. Okay.
Yes,
And
it's literally just Amazon. And
Y'all,
my
when
website.
y'all here talking about relationships, that book is a deep dive.
And she she has another book that's about to drop within like the next 3 months or so called X Crypt. And so yeah, for those of you that are struggling to get out of the gang lifestyle, read this book. She's gonna show you how you can go from Crypt to Christ.
Okay. That's the title. That's the actual title, From Crypt to Christ.
From Crypt to Christ.
No, ma'am.
She was a Crip and now she's all about the blood. You dig?
Yeah. So listen, the blood of Jesus.
Okay,
Come on here.
And she didn't get jumped out. God pulled her out.
Come on.
Almost like when he opened them gates for who was that? Peter.
He snatched me up, snatched me up. So listen, we are so thankful for everyone that tuned in on tonight. Listen, we want to make sure that every Tuesday night you join us right here on Facebook and YouTube.
And we will get to that healing question next week. I know the person's probably like, y'all skip me again.
No, but they've been digging. They've been digging this stuff.
We'll get to it next week, okay? So y'all, again, make sure to share. If you haven't already shared, please share, y'all, because especially within our communities, y'all, just period, when it comes to what we talked about, even with, the culture of suppressing emotions, that's something what nationwide, worldwide, doesn't matter your race, ethnicity, whatever, everybody needs to hear that because that needs to be stopped, right? So make sure you take the time and share the video. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Make sure you hit the bell so you can get all the notifications because when we go live here, we also go live there. Okay.
Thank you again, Jennifer. She said, "Thank you, ladies. We are so excited."
Oh, thank you for staying. You knew and you stayed the whole
time.
Honorary top fan for the moment. Okay, thank you.
And Emerald Meadows, thank you for jumping on. Actually, we are getting ready to jump off. We had an amazing topic. I encourage you to go back and catch the replay. Listen, you guys, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube. As just said, and that YouTube is Women of Power Radio Show. Mm-hmm. Also, if you have questions, if you got something you like, you know what? I want the Women of Power Radio Show to answer my question.
To get in my business.
Listen.
You can slide in our DMs right here on Facebook. You can leave it in the comments, and we do go back and read them, and we'll make sure to address it. Or you can email us at womenofpower5@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And those of you watching YouTube Live, you can just go type it in the comments. Hey, I got a question, and we'll connect with you. Yes. Also, go to our Facebook page, you guys. If you have not liked it, okay, we want to encourage you to like and share, but not only like and share. No,
leave a review.
Yes.
Oh. Huh?
No, I was like, what? Leave what?
Oh.
She thought you were
Do
gonna
it again.
Not only do we want you to like and share, we want you to.
Leave a review.
Why you say that like that?
Why
Like the
she
kid
look
who
just like
can't
Jordan?
read and class.
Okay, yeah. So make sure you guys go and leave a review on our Facebook page to let us know that you enjoyed the show.
We want to know
Come
what you
on.
think of the show because we do read the reviews too. And for people who don't know Women in Power, when they get on there, they want to know what to look forward to. Tell them what's up.
I'm trying to play with the
Oh,
sign.
they're like,
I'm trying to let it
just put
point
the
at,
arrow on your head.
I'm trying to let it point at my bun.
Oh
girl.
my. So listen, we love y'all so much. As you know, we will be right back here next Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Wait, Javon, before we go off, Javon says, I want to come on as a guest on the show one of these days. We do have our men panel. We had it. It was
he's really good
successful
for that.
twice.
Yeah,
And so we will definitely make sure to reach out to you when we schedule our next one. They've
Yeah.
been very enlightening.
Well, just so y'all know, Rakita has requested a women's panel.
Oh, yeah.
And then the men can submit their questions, and then we have a panel of women to answer them. Rakita
I'm trying
said,
to
look, I don't want to be on the panel. I just want to sit in the audience. So we need
You know,
some ladies.
Thelma,
Definitely Nikki.
LaShondra, Nikki.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Tyrena.
LaShondra be
She
on
be
it.
working out.
Azure.
She be working
Nikki,
hard,
be
y'all.
boy.
Come on here. So, Javon, we're going to get with you, my brother. We actually can bring them in via.
Is there a way that we could have a co-ed panel
That would be dope.
to see them
I-
go back and forth together? I mean, like,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be
I think
dope
that'd be dope.
to do a co-ed panel?
Yeah. Because this really is a women's panel already.
Yeah, we are.
Right, true.
That would really be dope to kind of see how they vibe in person, like as
Yeah.
far as like their responses and stuff like that.
Jennifer actually says she has a great radio station up there next to her in Lake Michigan, but it's nothing like y'all.
To God be the glory. We definitely appreciate
I'm
that.
blushing.
Prayerfully, we will be
I'm blushing
on
over
air,
here. Okay.
soon. So we speak that into existence.
Look, LaShondra said she down. Nikki said, panel me, please. Tyrena said, I will take off work. I will lose money to be on this show. Okay.
Kia too. Kia.
All right,
really
Kia.
good
Yeah.
responses. Yeah.
Come on here. So listen, be on the lookout.
Now we're gonna
for
have to
that.
give Thelma some rules before she get on her.
She gonna come to real and the
That's
raw.
Peter. She just going.
But
You said she Peter.
Jewel Cooley said co-ed would be cool.
That would we did the men's, the women would be cool, but to have them to
Both
kind of
of
go
the
back and
same,
forth
Like
in
a battle
person.
of the sexes.
Yeah.
Yes, in
The same way
person.
they do it in the comments, but now it's in person. I think that would be super dope.
Because we can do a general male question, let the men answer, and then the women be like, okay, so why is it like that? And then do a women's question, the men be like, okay, I understand that, but why? It's almost like a
It might be a fight. Not just fine. I'm just joking. Kia says she's in. LaPortia, come on here. She just said panel. I know that means you want to be in on it. So we sound like we got a whole panel
We
right
do.
here on tonight's show. So listen, you guys, don't forget, like and share. Tune in next week. Same bat place.
Same bad time.
I have both arms. It's just this one.
Yeah.
Just this one.
So thank y'all for tuning
you know
in.
what, John? You
Share.
can't handle the truth of us about to close this live out without responding to your mess.
Yeah.
Ricky
Have a
said
good day.
co-ed too. Tyrone said sounds good. He's interested. Tyrone, did you move to Houston? You gonna
I
drive
think he
down?
did move.
Okay, come on down from Houston.
Okay.
So we'll get with you guys. We're gonna go back and watch the comments and write down everyone's names that's interested.
And listen,
will
when we
be
do
in
it, we're gonna
contact.
have y'all dress up and everything. Everybody gonna be
Red
fly.
carpet fly, okay.
We may do a New Year's
Black
thing.
excellence. Yeah.
Listen, we should do something. We're definitely this gonna be
We're
something.
gonna talk about it off screen.
Yeah.
We love y'all so much. See y'all next week.
Share the video. Share the video.
Love y'all.
Share the video. Bye.
Oh, he's in Austin, y'all.